Welcome to your Saga Oasis. Love without dependency. We know that love possesses an incredibly large power. When immersed in love, we often want to forget everything else in life, considering love and the person we love as the most important. We lose ourselves in the dreamy world of love, feeling that life is romantic and worth living. However, my friends, when we focus too much on nurturing our souls with love, that is also when we start to neglect our own lives. We become too focused on our lover, constantly missing them and trying to make them happy, and vice versa. We also expect the other person to make us happy in return. We spend too much time and energy on what is called love, but in reality, we are always placing our hearts in someone else's hands. We constantly think about the desires and feelings of the other person towards us. Gradually, each day, we drift further away from ourselves, not realizing what is happening in our own minds, to the point that we also neglect our basic needs, such as eating and sleeping, and family relationships are not prioritized. Indeed, for some, love has a major impact on their career. These are the manifestations of being in love. In those moments, when you feel overwhelmed by strong emotions, have you ever wondered, what if, at that moment, you and your partner couldn't continue your love due to some reason that forces you to part ways? Imagine if they no longer loved you, deceived you. How would you feel? Would you be able to get over it normally? Could you stabilize your emotions right away? Would you feel like nothing happened? Or would you collapse, suffer, and even think about ending your life? This happens because during the process of loving, something terrifying occurs inside that you're unaware of. You've developed an addiction to emotions. Scientists point out that our brains can produce endorphins and serotonin, hormones that make us feel relaxed and happy, creating a sense of comfort. But when we rely on an external entity to feel happiness, sweetness, comfort, and this becomes a repeated pattern, the brain forms a new command: stop producing endorphins and serotonin, and instead depend on external sources of pleasure, not just limited to alcohol, tobacco, stimulants, but also including love and sex. Therefore, you've lived for someone else for a long time, neglecting yourself, not creating your own peace and comfort, but completely depending on that other person. You're not at home with yourself anymore. You live in someone else's home, and you call that love, your wonderful happiness. In love, how much hurt has been caused by this mutual dependency? I need you. You are my emotional support. This dependency leads to situations where if one fails to keep their promise, losing the original beauty both strive to show, not to mention life's pressures, financial troubles, family issues, and children, along with many other challenges both need to face. How can one muster enough energy to solve all these problems when the love is not as strong as before? Hence, the longer we live together, the deeper the wounds we inflict on each other become. Love turns into a container for much pain and also marks the end of many dreams and beautiful values that each young person holds within. Whose fault is it? Is it because of love, or is it because of us? Those who love without going through learning and training. No one can continuously nurture someone else's soul, nor can anyone bring eternal happiness to another. This becomes all the more clear when each of us carries our own issues, deep-seated wounds that only we have the power to heal. Instead of always leaning on and depending on each other, sometimes we need to step back a little, return to our own garden of the soul and do the work ourselves, clearing the weeds, planting new seeds of happiness and joy. Then, when we come back together, we bring along beautiful values to offer and share with each other. In a relationship, mutual support is essential. If one person struggles, the other should be ready to help and vice versa. But you shouldn't constantly seek your partner's support when you don't really need it. Why not each of us seek our own happiness? And then, when it truly matters or the timing is right, we come together to share the joy and multiply the happiness. Everyone should live their life well, take care of themselves, their work, build relationships with family and friends, and pursue their own dreams and ideals. By doing this, we generate positive energy and good values, and when we meet, we'll have meaningful gifts to offer each other. A healthy relationship is built on the principle that each person takes responsibility for their own life, seeking their partner's support only when it's absolutely necessary, when they feel they can't bear it on their own any longer. And when faced with challenges, hurts, or sorrows, each one should first try to heal themselves, with the other's help playing a supporting role, particularly when we're emotionally wounded and might unleash negative energy that hurts the one we love. Taking a break from each other, even if just for a few hours a day or a few days a week, as a way to heal ourselves, like a tiger licking its wounds, is essential. This approach helps rebuild the belief in our ability to stand strong on our own, relying on our resilience and the brain's capacity to produce endorphins and serotonin. When self-confidence is restored, being with our partner not only makes us more stable, but also lightens their load. In a relationship, if two people are entirely dependent on each other, it's unhealthy and won't withstand life's tests. Thus, being self-reliant, refreshing ourselves to always be a fresh, beautiful flower, ready to share with the one we love, is a true act of love. Don't lean too much on others. Have faith in yourself, because we all have much inner value to offer. It's the end of the video. Thank you for joining us today. And don't miss out on more videos from us by subscribing and turning on the notification bell icon.